Dear brothers and sisters, it's wonderful to be here with all of you. And as we gather here on this beautiful, cold and chilly winter day, even though it's cold on the outside, it's really warm in here. It's all the love that you all bring, which makes it so loving and so warm to be together. And as we gather together, I want to wish everyone a very, very happy New Year. And as we gather together, this is that time of the year when we're all looking back of what happened in the last year, and we start to think of what we're going to plan in the next year. And as we start to plan for the next year, even though it may look like we all have different things that are important to us, at the core of each and every one of our plans is that we want to be happy. Happiness might come as different things to different people. But most people want to be happy themselves, and they want to make others happy, others that they're close to, others that they love. Because when we are happy, everything seems to be going well for us. And as we think about happiness, we realize that happiness is an emotion. It's an emotion that we have when things go according to what we want. Let's say we want good grades and there's a test. The results come and we have good grades, we get very happy. Let's say there's a couple and they find out that they are going to have a baby, they get very happy. Times when our school teams win championships in any sports, and that makes us happy. And when we start to think about happiness, it's an emotion which stays for a while. Whatever we think about happiness, there's also sorrow and sadness that comes into life when things don't work as we expect. Because we all get devastated when things don't work as we like. So the state of happiness is one which doesn't stay for very long periods. It may stay for a few moments, it may stay for a few hours, it may stay for a few days, it may stay even for a few years, but it's never going to last forever because it's an emotion. And emotions change, and every day, we have different meetings, we have different things happening in our life. There's different things that we see or hear through all the communications today. And these moments of happiness don't stay. So as we were thinking for a slogan for the next year, we thought happiness is okay, but we want to do something better. So we found a word called bliss. It's very interesting. Many people use happiness and bliss as if they're interchangeable. But as we start to understand happiness and bliss, these are entirely two different situations. Happiness is an emotion, and emotions happen at an emotional level. Okay? Bliss is a state of the soul. And bliss does not have any word which is opposite of bliss. Like sadness is opposite of happiness, but there's no unbliss or no bliss or whatever bliss. There's no word like that. Why? Because bliss is a state of the soul and it's permanent. In the East there's this talk about Sat, Chit and Anand as the characteristics of the Creator. Sat means the truth, Chit means consciousness, and Anand is a word which means bliss. And so the Creator is very difficult to define, and so some of these saints in the East have defined the Creator through the characteristics that God or the Creator is an ocean of all consciousness. That the Creator is all truth and is in a state of bliss, because a state of bliss is eternal. Once you attain that state, it never fades away. And so the slogan that we picked up for this year is meditate for bliss in 2026. Okay. So as we start to understand what bliss is all about, and how do we get to that state of bliss, so that we are eternally in that state, in ecstasy, in joy, in happiness that is everlasting. So that the state, once we attain it, is always there. And as we start to look at how we can get there, there are a few things that we can do to be able to attain that state. One of the first things that we can do to be in a state of bliss is to help someone else, like selfless service. When we help someone else, and we have no expectations of any rewards for ourselves, because we help someone because we want their pain to go away, because we want their life to be better, because we want to relieve a difficult situation they might be in. The joy that we get is always there, never going to be taken away from us. It's something that we've done. We've done because we wanted to do it, not that we were forced to do it. And so selfless service is always about giving because we want to give, because God has been gracious enough to give us, whether it be physical strength, whether it be emotional stability, whether it be spiritual gains. Like the Creator has given us something, and so we want to share. And the joy that we get in helping someone is tremendous, and it always stays with us, because once we've given something to someone, and we give it happily, and we relieve their pain and help them in some way, the happiness that we get stays with us. So selfless service is a very good aspect of leading our lives to get to a state of bliss. Another thing that helps is to attend what is called Satsang. The word Satsang means, the word Sat means truth, and Sang means to be with. So the word Satsang means to be with truth. So when we go to a Satsang, there our attention is always focused on the Creator. The Satsangs are talking about the truth, the Satsangs are telling us that our real existence is at the level of our soul, that our soul is a part of God, and that the purpose of us being alive in this human body is to find that connection and have the merger of our soul and God. So all satsangs are talking about the truth of our existence and the purpose of our existence. And so once we understand that we are a part of the Creator, and we understand that God the Creator is with us, we are a part of the Creator, then the happiness that we get within is going to last and last and last. And that what it lasts is what bliss is all about. Because the clear understanding of what the realities of our existence is what puts us in that state of bliss. And so when we are in the satsang, whether we are physically with the spiritual master or we are thousands of miles away, the saints have said that 1/3 of spirituality comes through words. So when we go to satsang and listen to the satsang, then 1/3 of the spirituality is coming through the words, and 2/3 of spirituality is coming through radiation. The spiritual radiation, which is coming from, if we are physically in the presence of the physical spiritual master, it comes through the eyes of the spiritual master, but when we are thousands of miles away, the spiritual radiation that comes, and that doesn't have any barriers of any things in between us and that spiritual power. So when we are in satsang, those are opportunities to be able to attain the state of bliss. Because in the satsang, as our focus is in the spiritual arena, totally, with us not being distracted, then we are going to be able to be in a state where, as we sit to meditate right after the satsang, then we'll find that it's much easier for us to still our mind. And our spiritual journey is then enhanced in leaps and bounds for us. So that's another state in which we can be in a state of bliss. And the most important thing to be in state of bliss is to meditate. Because when we meditate, then we're taking our attention from the world outside. When we meditate, we are focusing on experiencing the divine light and the divine sound within ourselves. And so when we connect with the divine light and we connect with the divine sound, then we are uplifted into the spiritual regions. The regions which are full of light, the regions which are full of celestial music, those regions which are spiritually uplifting. And as we get into those regions, we find there's nothing but happiness and joy. Most of us look at sunsets and sunrise and think, wow, they're so beautiful. But what we see inside is so much more beautiful than what we've seen in the world. We all like different kinds of music based on whatever our backgrounds are like. But and the music is very enchanting, and generally you get in a trance when you really like the music that you're used to or you want to listen to. But then when we listen to the music of the spheres, the celestial music, which is the harmony which is played inside of us for 24 hours a day, when we connect with it, then it's so melodious, it's so enchanting that it puts us in that state of bliss which lasts and lasts and lasts. Now, the thing with meditation is, that as soon as you sit down to meditate, each and every one of us is bombarded by thoughts. And so, how do we deal with those thoughts? They are a distraction. So there was a young person who had learned to meditate, and he came to the Learn to Meditate classes and learning meditation. And he's meditating and he's trying for a few weeks, and then he comes to the saint who was teaching meditation, and he asks him that, I'm having many thoughts, and the thoughts are, they're like an impediment in my meditation. They're stopping me from meditating. And so what should I do? So the saint asked him, what do you really enjoy doing? He said, I love sports. The saint said, oh, this is a playoff season of the NFL. Here's a ticket, I want you to go watch the game last week. He says, okay. The guy's thinking, I came to know about meditation, my saint is telling me to watch the game. What's going on? And the saint said, okay, when you go to the game, I want you to note what is happening there, come back and tell me. So the young person goes to the game and he's watching. Generally he's been to games before, and then he's always watching the game, but this time now he's very serious. He's watching very seriously, taking notes, what is happening. And he's watching one team gets a score, another team gets a score, and he's watching that. And he comes back, and so he meets the saint, and so the saint asks him, yeah, what did you learn in the game, and how was the game played? So he said, oh, I learned that, there are these two teams, and they have a defense and an offense. And I also saw there were the defense coordinator and an offense coordinator who were directing that game. And he said there's this offense team is trying to go to the goal post, and the defense team is trying to stop them. So the saint asked him, so what happened then? He said, the offense team is trying to figure out how to get the defense out of the way, and their coordinator is coming with all kinds of different plays they have. They try this thing and this thing. Sometimes they get the ball and the boy is running, and sometimes they have what they call a quarterback, and he gets the ball and he throws it. And sometimes he throws the ball to one person, and that person throws it back to someone else, and they play these trick plays. And they've got all these plays that they have. And he says, I noticed some people have on the quarterback sometimes have this thing, he opens up, he's looking at all these plays. So they have different plays. And he said, I also saw that the defense is like adjusting. And they stand and they move, and these guys move, and these guys move, and they're adjusting to each other. And so the defense has some plays, so they are trying to stop the people from going to the goal post. And sometimes they reach the goal post, sometimes they don't reach the goal post. And so the offense and the defense are always trying to see what the other party is doing, and they try to adjust so that the defense is trying for the ball not to get to the goal post, and the offense is trying to get there. So the saint asked, what did you learn from there? He said, I don't know, you tell me. So the saint said, okay, when you meditate, there's a game going on there. And the young person is saying, what kind of game is going on? I never watched any game. All I see is beautiful lights out there. And the saint said, no, there's a game going on between your soul and your mind. So your soul has a goalpost of reaching God. And your mind is defensive. It's just like playing the defense, it's not letting the soul get to the goalpost. And so the soul is trying to go there, and the soul says, okay, to go there, for the body needs to be still. So still the body, you close your eyes, and then the soul is trying to get there, and defense says, I'm not going to have it go there. I'm going to send a thought. Because, the light and sound is going within, and so if no thoughts are coming, then the soul can get to the light. But when a thought comes, the soul is then focused on the thought and not on the light. So they say the offensive coordinator is now going to give you some games to play. And that becomes your spiritual master who tells you to do Simran. Because when you do Simran, then you are able to keep the thoughts out. And just like, when you have any of these matches, you practice a lot more. You play the whole year, then only get to the playoffs. You have to play so many matches and you get there. Okay? Similarly, you keep on doing the Simran and you practice the plays. You can first learn how to focus your technique well. You can learn how to sit and still the body properly. You can be regular in your meditations. You can fix the time of meditations. And you can do all of these things are like practices that you practice, so that when you're playing your game, that by being able to do Simran during the day and at other times, you are strengthening your plays so that you know when the ball comes, you can catch it. Okay? And so, as you practice the Simran, and as you practice the techniques of being able to meditate properly, then you're going to get to your goal post. So, as we meditate, as we still the body and still the mind, we are able to take steps towards reaching our goal. And our goal is to be one with the Creator. And so, as we all gather here in the beginning of 2026, let's start the year with some meditation. Please sit as comfortably as you can. Close your eyes very gently, just like you close them when you go to sleep. Your eyeball should be straight, focus 8 to 10 inches in front of you. And as you close your eyes, those of you who have been initiated in the mysteries of the beyond, please do your Simran. And those of you who are new here, please repeat any name of God that you feel comfortable with. And this repetition of God's name should be done mentally and not out loud. Keep your attention right in front of you, and with time, you'll experience like flashes of lights, circles of lights. Lights could be of various colors. And whatever you experience, just keep your gaze in the middle, and with time, you'll be able to experience many, many other vistas which will put you in a state of happiness and joy. I pray to the three great spiritual masters of the past century, Hazur Baba Sawan Singh Ji Maharaj, Param Sant Kripal Singh Ji Maharaj, and Dayal Purush Darshan Singh Ji Maharaj, to help each and every one of us connect with the divine power within and to experience the divine light in its effulgence. I will be sitting for a few minutes. I'll be getting out of this meditative state at that time, and my best wishes are with each and every one of you. Please leave off. Please leave off.